Cowabunga, dudes. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtle Power card game. So this is just a little tiny game that I've seen in the stores, and I decided to pick it up because I love Ninja Turtles. So I thought we'd take a look at it and see what exactly it is. I'm gonna stay right off the bat. So it's a super quick small game. It's 8+ rollers, so it's meant for littler kids. There's not a lot of reading involved or anything. Up to 3 to 6 players. That's a key issue there. Is it has to have at least 3 players because it's a semi versus game. And we'll see what I mean by that when we get in the rules or into the game actually. And then it's about 15 minutes long. So it's not a very big game. So what it is it's kind of broke up into 2 parts. So a threatening silhouette of Krang looms above New York City. The evil alien mastermind has developed a sinister plan to take over the Earth. Luckily, a handful of pizza-loving reptilian ninjas and their allies are here to foil his schemes. Time to train your team and take the fight to Krang. Be strong, Turtles. Everyone out there's counting on you. Alright. So, yeah, the game is going to be broken up into 2 different, they call them episodes. The training episode, where each player tries to be the first to train their team of mutants to become the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of Episode 2. And then Episode 2, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles face Krang, played by the other players. This is where I said it's semi-versus, because in the first one, you're all competing against each other to train up your turtles, and then whoever wins goes on to Part 2, where they play their team of turtles, versus the other players acting as Krang. So you're kind of all against all in the first one, and then the other one, it's 1 versus many. So you have 30 different ninja cards, each with 1 team member on the back, 6 activation cards from 0 to 5, 12 Krang cards, and a Casey Jones and April card. This setup is pretty easy. Each player takes a set of ninja cards with 4 turtle cards and 1 splinter of the same color background, places them in a single row, the untrained, darkened side up, visible in front of them. The 6 activation cards are placed in the center. Episode 1 takes place in several rounds. The goal of the episode is to be the first player to flip all their ninja cards over and train their full team of Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Master Splinter. Each round is played simultaneously. Shout Turtle Power and hold up a hand, raising 0 through 5 fingers. Each player whose hand indicates the largest unique number wins the round. Identical numbers cancel each other out. The winner of the round must apply the effects of the activation card corresponding with the number of the round they won. Alright, so before we get into that, let's take a quick look at the cards. So we have Untrained side, which is showing them in the sewer. And so there's different colors for each turtle. So we have Donatello in purple. Let me flip them over. Leonardo. Michelangelo. Raphael. It's a terrible way to hold this eye. He's jumping. And then, of course, Master Splinter. So then the backs of each cards are going to be the same. They're just going to be different colors. So we have purple. So I'm not going to keep flipping to the backs. But what is neat, though, is I did take a different picture for each of the fronts. The train side. So I thought that was kind of always neat. And this is just a little quick game they threw out there. They could have just had the exact same images. So we have purple. We have, I'm going to say this is kind of like orange. It's a brown, but you could call it orange. Other 4 colors, except for Splinter, for whatever reason, gets the exact same art. Oh, no, he did have different artwork. I thought he had the same. Never mind. Then we have blue. Again, the backs will all be the same. Each one depicted in different poses. And then we have a red. So I think that's why it's supposed to be orange rather than brown. It's supposed to be 1 for each of the turtle colors. Then this one does duplicate again. And then we actually have a green as well. So we get 1 extra color. Oh wait, we have more than that. There's 6 colors. Yeah, so most of these splinters are the same. I was right. And then finally we have green. So this is as simple as these cards are. Is all you do is you start with your character face down. If you win the round, you flip them up and now they're trained. If for some reason they get untrained, you flip them back over. First player to have all 4 turtles and Splinter flipped over gets to move on. Alright, so let's look at how that's done. Let's actually look. We have some activation cards here as well. So we have different activation cards that have different symbols on them. And we'll come back and we'll review these in a moment. So we have 0 fingers, 1 finger, 2 finger, a 3 finger, a 4 finger, and a full 5 fingers. So how this works is the player, okay, so when you open up your hand, let's look at this part first. For example, Emily, Jack, Oliver, Charlie, and Nicholas are competing. Identical numbers cancel each other out. So Emily and Oliver both get 5. So the 5s cancel each other out. Jack and Charlie each get 4s, so they cancel it. So Nicholas only has a 1, ends up being the highest number that's left over. So he follows what activation card 1 does. It says he trains one of his ninjas, so it shows him flipping one of the ninja cards over. And then it has a special ability. It says he can play with both hands during his next round. So if we look at what each card does, it says, I kind of maybe see if I can zoom my camera up just a bit. Maybe I can have both of these in at the same time so we can look at them a little bit easier. And all of these cards are double-sided, so it doesn't matter which direction they are. But if you are 0, you get to train 2 of your numbers. So if you pick the lowest and you're super lucky, everyone else cancels each other out, you get 2 flips. That could be super helpful. The 1, the player trains one of their ninjas and can play with both hands as if you're 2 different players during the next round. So you obviously don't want to do the same number on both hands because you'll cancel yourself out, but it gives you a chance to possibly cancel someone out with one hand and gain a bonus on the other one. On number 2 and number 3 in the middle, you just did to train one of their ninjas. For a number 4, much like 0, you get kind of like 0. You get to train one of your ninjas, and another player must flip one of their cards to untrained. So it shows flipping to the eyeball side is trained, or is untrained to trained, and then they're showing untrained. So you get to flip one of your opponents back over as well. And then with 5, the player trains one of their ninjas, and then let's make the 2 number with their fingers the next round. So if you pick 5, which is obviously the highest, as long as nobody else picks 5, then you're forced to do 2 on the next round. So that at least lets everyone else know that, hey, if they can pick 3, 4, or 5, they're going to beat you. But if they pick 1 or 2, they have to hope someone else picks 2 to cancel you. So most likely someone's not going to cancel them. Unless they maybe get 1, then they might choose to cancel them, right? So that's basically how that goes. And then you just keep doing it. It says, when a player trains their 5th ninja, they become the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of Episode 1. In Episode 2, the Ninja Turtles will face off against Krang. So very simple. Then Episode 2, assemble the Krang. In the center of the table, the Ninja Turtles keep their 5 trained team members in front of them. The other players put their cards back in the box. In Episode 2 takes place over several rounds. In this episode, the Ninja Turtles face Krang, played by the other players. In order to damage Krang, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, oh god, they should just shrunk that down, must make a unique number amongst the other players. Players embodying Krang must raise a number to match the Turtles' numbers to weaken them. During each round, players embody Krang, and the Turtles shout, "Here comes Krang!" At the same time, hold out hands 0 to 5 just like before, so it's the same game, just now you're playing against each other a little bit more. Players embodying Krang can't agree beforehand the numbers they will raise. So that means that you can't go like, hey, I'll do 2, you do 2, you know, like, right. They have to, like, each pick them, so they might cancel each other out still. For A, the Turtles raise a unique number with their hand. They discard as many cards from Krang as the number showing. The girls can choose any of the cards to discard. If the Turtles discard the last Krang card, the Turtles win the game and save the city. So this means if a Turtle holds up 4 and no other player holds up 4, they get discard 4 cards. If they hold up 1, you know, they get 1. So basically the higher they can go, the quicker they can win. But you also have to worry about people just assuming they're going to pick the highest number. But if you keep going 1 over and over and over, it would take you a while to win, but as long as when you keep selecting it, you're fine. The turtles raise a number identical to any of their opponents their attack is blocked. They flip back as many of their turtles to the untrained side as the number of opponents that share the same number. If their entire team becomes untrained, again, Krang wins. Rounds continue until one team wins. If the turtles raise a unique number of 0, they flip back all their turtles to their trained side and inflict as many damage on Krang. So this is kind of a neat way for them to come back. So you could pick 0 to like reflip all your guys back. So if you're down to like just Donatello, you could flip them and hope that no one else assumes 0, and then you do damage to each one. Now if you do this right off the bat, or with one turtle, you might only do 1 damage. But yeah, it's also a gamble there. So again, here's some examples. Nicholas is the Ninja Turtles. So the other 4 players raised a 4 and a 4 and a 2 and 2, so they canceled each other out. So he won with 3. So he gets to discard 3 of Krang's cards. In the second round here, he picked the 4 as well as everybody else, and the 1 just discards. So since 3 players picked it, he has to flip back 3 of them. Then the last round here, he picks a 0. No one else picks 0. Just to flip back the 3 over and do 3 more damage. If you're doing a 3-player game, during episode 2, 2 of the players playing Krang with both hands as if each of them played 2 different players. So you end up getting 4 hands total. So otherwise it works the exact same way. But yeah, since showing here like Jack did 2 of the same numbers, they don't cancel each other out because and they still match because each one's treated as a separate player. And if you're playing a 5-player game, it's kind of neat if you're showing 1 turtle and 4 Krang. Get help from Casey Jones, who's the team's 6th player. He alone can block all damage received by the turtles any round. However, once the attack has been blocked by Casey, his card is discarded, and Casey Jones' not able to use during the backing action has no effect on Casey Jones. So this would benefit you with taking 3 damage. You can flip Casey over instead, but you can never use him anymore. If you're playing 6 players, you get to do the same thing, but add April. So you get 2 extra full blocks. So here are our Casey and April cards. You have Casey Jones. There's the backside. And April. April O'Neil. There's the backside. Breaking news. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. And then we have a reference card here for Kang. I keep calling him Kang. Krang. My bad. Just showing how his 9 cards, or his 12 cards line up, just in case like you're having trouble with it for some reason, and that's just showing what the backs would look like for whatever reason. And then we'll just take a quick look at it. So there's the backs of them. I'm not going to go too far into these, but yeah. Fun little tiny game. Very quick. I could see it being a little, I don't know, gimmicky party game or something if you have younger kids, maybe. I mean, it's not super in-depth to where you're going to be pulling it out, you know, like, I mean, you're not going to be like, hey, every week, let's get together and play this game. It could just be something you toss out, like, in between maybe heavier games. Or, again, something fun for the kids to play, or you have, like, a family gathering, and it's like, oh, let's play a game of Uno, let's play a game of this. Hey, let's play this for 5 minutes. Yeah, there could definitely be house rules. You could make up your own rules and do this and that and all that fun stuff if you want to try other things. But hey, for a couple of bucks, it's not bad. Thought I'd just show it off. That if you've been looking at the store, you at least have some idea of what it is. Because yeah, on the back, it does kind of show what you're doing. But it doesn't really explain it completely. So it is nice to have at least an explanation of what it is. Alright, so that's what we got for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtle Power card games. See you guys later. Bye.